So the Meyiwa Murder Trial took an unexpected twist in court today when a second docket was revealed. And that docket is calling for all those present at the house in which Meyiwa was killed, the visitors, to be charged. The docket names Kelly Khumalo, her sister Zandi Khumalo, and her mother Gladness Khumalo as suspects in the crime. The defence for accused number 5 wants to know why they were not previously made aware of the second docket. eNCA reporter Slindelo Masekana joins us now with the latest developments. Slee, well, I think it's not just the defence advocate. We all want to know how this highly unprecedented move of a second docket being introduced has come about, brought in by the state. We knew about the second line of investigation. We knew that there was possibly a second docket. But is the state now joining the first and second dockets together? It's so unusual. Tell us what you know.
From what we know, Sally, not at this point. There are no talks at this point about joining the two dockets. What we do know from as far back, Sally, as the cross-examination of Advocate Malisela Tefo was that there were two investigations, there were two sets of investigators, there were two sets of different scenarios and two sets of different suspects in terms of the Meyiwa murder and what transpired on that fateful evening. Now, I think for the most part, especially when Advocate Tefo introduced this 375 docket, we all thought, does it really exist? But it actually does, and the state has actually known about it or had requested it from as far back as the 23rd of March from the investigators themselves, the 375 docket. State prosecutor George Baloyi made an interesting submission to say that when he had requested the 375 docket from the investigators back in March, they didn't give it to him, but instead gave it to Advocate Malisela Tefo. And he says he's only received a copy of that docket today and subsequently giving another copy to Advocate Mshololo. This is when, of course, she had raised the concerns around her client being prejudiced, saying that the fact that the state had not disclosed this information goes against her client's constitutional constitutional rights. But we know that we know of the existence of this docket, Sally, because Advocate Tefo had actually referred to it when he cross-examined Mosia around the affidavit that he made in connection with this docket, where he concedes that the crime scene actually may have been compromised due to all the lapses that took place ahead of him actually getting to the crime scene. But let's take a listen to Advocate Mshololo, basically lambasting the state for only receiving the docket today.
My Lord, with due respect, I cannot be told by any of the counsels before this court as to how long do I need to do a preparation regarding the documents that I've just received now. And also myself, it will be unfair for me to tell them as to how long do they need to read that document. It's a further prejudice, my Lord. It's a further disregard of accused number 5 constitutional right by the state. And a misjoinder of the accused in this case. We are sitting with a critical situation here, my Lord, wherein I'm seeking clarity from both DPPs regarding Exhibit D, wherein they decided to charge other people and later stage decided to charge these people. I cannot be able to proceed.
So has the state said anything about the introduction of this docket?
The state, Sally, I didn't catch your question.
Yes. What is the state saying? I mean, they're being slammed.
The only submission... Yeah. The only submissions that they made, Sally, in connection with that docket was the fact that, look, we had requested it prior to the trial beginning. I did not receive it. Those were the words of Advocate Baloyi. Also saying that, like Advocate Mshololo, he was only receiving a copy of that docket today when proceedings resumed this morning, Sally.
All right. Okay. So that's what the state is saying. You've also spoken to the other defence advocate, Advocate Tefo, who I understand wasn't in court today but has granted you an interview. What did you find out from him?
So we had instructing attorney Titi Tobane for accused 1 and 4 today in court. Advocate Malesela Tefo had prior engagements that he had to attend to today. So we did attempt to just get a sense as to how he feels about how proceedings went today. He's unhappy with the fact that there may be a very long adjournment in terms of this trial come Monday. We know that on Monday Sergeant Mosia will not be coming back to the witness box to testify, but of course he went into detail as to how he has gotten in possession of the 375 docket, what it contains, and exactly how far back these investigations go. Let's take a listen.
Yeah, thanks, Leah. The 375 is not, it's a common cause. That docket was opened in 2019 by the investigating officer of the same docket, who initially they were together. They were a team of 4 before that docket of 375 was opened. So all of them, the Makubu and the Geninda, they were on 636. It was after a crucial statement was stolen out of 636 by one of them. Then that's when this second docket came in, because in the 375 there is an allegation of the defeat in the end of justice against one of the police officers. Hence we've got the 2 dockets today. Yeah. Yes.
All right, so you mentioned that the matter's back in court on Monday, but we may see quite a lengthy pause because, as Advocate Mshololo said, well, she's got to go through the second docket. She's only seen it today. I want to get a sense of the response and the reaction to the second docket from other journalists, from analysts, from other lawyers, because we had in our mind that this case was going to get us to the bottom of what happened to Senzo Meyiwa. And it seems to have been dogged by unusual moments right from the get-go. What are people saying to you?
You know, Sally, I think from the get-go, when the rumors or when Advocate Malesela Tefo actually introduced the notion of this second docket to the court, we were all wondering, okay, so what exactly then informed the NPA to go with the 636 docket that is against the 5 men that we see in the dock before the North Gauteng High Court? Not only that, we've all been asking ourselves exactly in terms of jurisdiction, does the North Gauteng High Court then have the jurisdiction to be able to hear this matter? Because now, in terms of this second docket, the 375 docket, that one was essentially signed off in the South Gauteng High Court. The NDPP there saying that those who are in the house actually have a case to answer to. In fact, there's an indictment to that effect. And so what we know is that Advocate Mshololo is then going to write to the NDPPs in the North and South Gauteng divisions to understand exactly what were the reasons that informed the NPA to charge her client as well as accused 1 to 4, as opposed to chasing or charging those who were in the house that evening. In fact, one of the last things she said is that we shouldn't actually then have 5 suspects before the court, we should have more than 10 who should be here defending themselves in terms of the charges before the accused right now in the 636 docket. So come Monday, Sally, we then are hoping that we would have had a response from the North and South Gauteng divisions, as well as have a better idea as to how this trial is going to unfold moving forward, because Judge Maumela insists that he wants to have a sitting where we're going to be there for more than just 2 weeks at a time.
Yeah, absolutely. And I suppose the crucial question is, what is the link, if any, between the people named as suspects in the first docket as opposed to the second docket? I am sure that you're going to spend the next few days trying to dig up as much information as you possibly can. It is an intriguing case indeed. Thank you so much for that update. That was eNCA reporter Slindelo Masekane. Second docket in the Senzo Meyiwa murder case. Many questions remaining. We need full explanation from the NPA, methinks, on exactly what this is all about.